All right, guys, welcome back. This is the Axon 10 Pro, and I really enjoy this phone, man. Of all the phones that I'm reviewing, I have a lot of phones that are on the table. Obviously, I'm trying to keep up with things, but currently I'm just in my iPhone review phase, so this phone gets bumped up the list because I've got space for it. This device is just beautiful when you compare it, man. I'm going to compare this to the iPhone 11 Pro Max because it's a direct competitor, if you ask me. You've got a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, you've got 8 gigs of RAM, you've got 256 gigs of storage, 48 megapixel camera setup on the rear, which is actually pretty nice, a 6.5, if you will, or 6.47 inch display. It's beautiful. There's a lot to love about this display. I mean, it's just freaking gorgeous, man. You've got stereo speakers on here. You've got this thing loaded up. The one question I've gotten is the IP rating. Now, the information that I was told, it did have an IP68 rating, but a lot of you guys saying it has IP53. Nonetheless, it really doesn't matter because I don't plan on getting my phones wet. But if it in fact does, get wet, at least I'll have some type of security that it's not gonna just get damaged immediately. 18-watt charger. This is a powerhouse, man. I mean, it is a beautiful, beautiful phone. I really enjoy using this device. I keep it in this case because honestly, it is super fingerprinty. Okay, it collects fingerprints really bad. And this case, I actually like it. And that's one of the first drawbacks that I've found about this device. Accessories. Believe it or not, there are a ton of people out there who buy a lot of accessories for their phone, which is why I bring you a lot of case reviews on this channel. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know what cases are coming. I don't know if there's going to be any more accessories for it. But that's something that concerns people, and I understand why. This case is not a heavy-duty super drop test case. This is simply just to get you on your way, and then later on down the line, you buy the case that you actually want. So that's not a huge drawback to deal with the phone itself, but it is something that people have pointed out to me. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I understand. I respect that. That's because I do have a lot of cases. I'm always on Amazon buying cases. And then also, I get a lot of cases for review. So ZTE, if you're listening, we're going to need some cases for this thing ASAP. It's been out now for 30 days, and we need to see you bring the thunder with the cases because you definitely brought the thunder with the phone. So, battery life. No change. It's still good on battery life. You'll be able to make it through a full day, and no downsides to that. The 8 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 855, it's flowing right along. Yeah, that's it. And speaking of flowing right along, the software. This is stock Android. ZTE has promised that they're going to update this by the end of the year, I believe it is, to Android 10. Right now it's on Android Pie, Android 9. And no problems with it. Even if, sadly enough, even if they were to not update this phone, it still would be a great phone because consumers, this is a consumer-friendly flagship because the price is really, really low. And then consumers can have access to it at a great price. One downfall, I think, another downfall to this device is it didn't hit any carriers officially. It's unlocked, and a lot of consumers don't live the unlocked life. They want to finance through the carriers. And so getting a carrier deal would have been great for them, just like OnePlus. That would have been great. Put it on Cricket, put it on T-Mobile. T-Mobile would have been like the perfect place to put this phone because ZTE dropped the ball by putting the Axon M on AT&T only and starting price $899 or $850 or whatever it was. And that was a complete flop on sales. People just didn't buy into it. This, on the other hand, wow, why not try to get a carrier deal? And it's still not too late. But I think if a company doesn't want to invest in it or just, they couldn't strike a deal, there's nothing we could do about it as consumers. So this device right here, running the stock Android, it's fast, man. It's blazing fast. Testing the cameras and things like that, they're really good. This is one of those devices that when you're just using it, I just don't have a lot of complaints. It works exactly as it should. The hardware is beautiful. The cameras are beautiful. And I am going to put it, like I said, against the iPhone 11 Pro Max because, I think it's a direct competitor. It is. Now, the front camera on here is definitely a strong competitor to most devices, because if you want to have that nice big viewfinder, this is a phone that you get, the big display. But the downside of that is not so much a downside, because consumers don't really use 4K recording for personal use. Some people have their phones set at 720p, or they never even went in and changed the settings. That's how much consumers really don't pay attention or just don't care. They just want to get a phone that works, and boom, good price, roll with it. And this phone is no exception. But nonetheless, the performance on here is just ridiculous, man. It's blazing fast, and there's nothing really to dislike about this phone, if you will. It's hard to believe that still today, reputation of your past haunts some companies. Like, I think the reason that a lot of people might not be too quick to purchase this is because in the past, ZTE might have said, oh, we're going to update this, and they didn't update it, or people are still focusing on what happened with the troubles that they had. That's the past for a reason. If you can't move forward, or you just don't want to build a new relationship or trust, this is the device you should start with. If you're trying to get back to test ZTE out, why wouldn't I recommend this phone? If you lay it down on the table, here's how this is probably going to turn out if I compare it next to this phone right here. If I compare it next to this phone, the only place that this phone is going to really beat up on the Axon 10 Pro is the cameras. Other than that, the ZTE Axon 10 Pro is the better and smarter purchase. And it's for those that say, well, software, iOS is better. That's subjective. This is running stock Android, and it's blazing fast. Totally doable. This has a high-powered DAC. This has stereo speakers as well. What's not to like? I think the downfalls of this phone, or the company as a whole, is because people are holding on to what happened before instead of letting that go and giving it a shot. Seriously, this is a sweet phone, man, and it's really good. So a 30-day follow-up for you guys, man. Just a quick discussion video. This phone is hot, man, and it's still a contender. It'll always be a contender as far as I'm concerned, because it's got the latest specifications. Just look at the OnePlus that just got released. The OnePlus that just got released is pretty much got a 90 hertz display over this phone, and what else? It's running Android 10 right away. Other than that, I don't see the advantages to that device. It may get software updates. You guys are going to say, oh, it gets software updates for everybody else. But, laying it out on the table, for $550, you're getting double the storage. You're getting a high-powered DAC. Like, okay, we can talk about what this phone doesn't have compared to the next to the OnePlus 7T. But reality is, the OnePlus 7T has people sold on the 90 hertz display and software updates. After that, what exactly are you getting that's so much better for that additional $50? Now, some would say that $50 is totally worth it, but the OnePlus doesn't have an SD card last I checked, and it doesn't have wireless charging. It doesn't have an official IP rating, even though this one is kind of sketchy from what I can tell. But other than that, you're getting a little bit more on here, and you're paying less. But reputation is everything. And maybe this is a lesson for the ZTE as a company. You've got to listen to your consumers. So I think this phone should have come out with Android 10. Like, why not release it with 10? It's in the window of 10, So, or if you couldn't get it on there right away, get it on there now. Get 10 on the devices right now. It's because there is no reason why people should not be wanting to try this device. It's a great contender. That's how I feel about it. 30 days later, it just feels fantastic, man. Another thing, I want some skins for this phone, man. I want to be able to use it without a case. Even though I got to admit, this is a very nice case, man. This case it's just like the OnePlus cases that used to come in the box, with the frosted sides and everything. It's nice. Really nice. Anyway, it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed 30 days, man. Just a discussion video. You know how I do. You can only do so many comparisons and things with a phone because you just have to use it. You know what I'm saying? So this is just me using it. Battery's still good. Screen is beautiful. Everything about it, I like it. I'm just concerned that accessories are where are they? I would love to bring some case reviews for you guys. Anything. Wireless charging device. ZTE, bring out a new watch. Bring out some earbuds. Do something. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if you hung around this long, I gotta say, man, this phone is beautiful. It feels so good in the hand. When you compare it next to other phones, man, it just feels good. It feels good, man. I mean, it's just a beautiful phone. It's a shame that, some phones just get overlooked at times for all the wrong reasons. It's your man Jay. You hung around. If you hung around to the end of this video, I want you to type in the comments with your comment, #I made it. Let's see how many people do that.